In the Egypt of the ancient pharaohs, canals linked the Nile with the Red Sea. However, they were eventually forgotten, having been covered with sand during the Arab era. Surprisingly, this region did not find itself in the limelight even in the Age of Discovery. Forgotten for a millennium, the idea of a canal was resurrected by Napoleon Bonaparte, who led a campaign to Egypt. As a result of his engineers' faulty calculations, though, the design for that seemingly impossible undertaking had to be forsaken. In the end, the cause of a canal was taken up by Ferdinand de Lesseps, the French consul to Egypt in the 19th century. The actual construction began in 1859 based on some earlier plans by an Austrian engineer, Alois Negrelli. Impeded by various problems, the major construction work would last for 10 years in the end. The first vessel passed through the canal in November 1869 as part of the opening celebrations. The canal stretched 163 kilometers from the town of Port Said on the Mediterranean Sea to the town of Suez on the Red Sea. The project functioned beautifully, shortening the journey from Europe to India by 8,000 kilometers, that is, by approximately 30 days. Egypt, which provided the majority of the construction costs but received little of the profit, went bankrupt a few years later. Therefore, the Egyptians were forced to sell their shares to the British, who practically appropriated the canal. However, the Convention of Constantinople in 1888 recognized it as a neutral zone, that is, free and open. A revolution broke out in Egypt in the mid-20th century. The new leadership nationalized the canal with the promise of a huge income. After the crisis of 1956, which blew up into an international conflict and led to the Second Arab-Israeli conflict, the canal zone was returned. As part of an enormous project, the passage was expanded with another branch by 2015, and so marine traffic is uninterrupted in both directions.